Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you. So, my name is Muskan Bhatia. I am with Univariety from past 7 years. I've joined Univariety in the year 2013, and since then, I've been counseling students, helping them to get into their dream universities. So, it has been an amazing journey. So I generally feel that every student has a specific talent. So as a counselor and as a parent, we should really try and understand what is best in the child. So as five fingers are not same, we should definitely try and understand every child has a unique talent. So this session is all about understanding what is the X factor, and I really appreciate all of you for being on time. So for the ones who do not know what Univariety is all about, Univariety is India's largest career counseling. So in the year 2019, we received the best company who got the best career guidance counseling award. So we've been counseling lakhs of students, and we are associated with more than 425 plus schools across the globe. We are actually a bridge between students, schools, and the universities. And of course, parents play a very, very important role in this. So I'll be sharing my screen with all of you so that we all can discuss. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Are you able to see the presentation? Great. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. So today we are going to discuss about what is the X factor, like what universities are looking for. Now there's so much of uncertainty. Exams are being cancelled, like entrance exams are being cancelled. So what is that the university is looking for? So today we are going to primarily discuss on what is the X factor, and for the same we would be discussing on the following agenda points for today. Okay, first, what is the changing admission process? I'm sure all of you want to know that. Almost all of you are eager to know that. Second is how universities react to board exams and SATs, which are now being cancelled because of the COVID and the pandemic situation. Third, we would be discussing more about the elimination versus the selection criteria. And we will definitely tell you how Univariety can help you to stay ahead. And I would be sharing some of the beautiful examples of the students whom I have helped and how on the things to get good admission offers. So before we begin, I'm really eager to understand, so how many students and how many parents are there in the audience? I know there are a lot of counselors as well who are attending this session today. So I'm going to run a poll. You will see a poll on the right hand side. So can you please add your details as who all are parent, student, and the counselors can mark it as others. Great. That's really great. Wow, I can see a lot of parents. Amazing. Okay, 76% are students. Come on, parents, please mark if you are a student or a parent. I would love to know that. Great, great, great. So I can see still students are marking. All right. Yes. Okay. So here we have 68% students and parents are like 23%. Amazing. Amazing. That's really good. I'm so glad that parents, students, and all of you are attending this session today. So let's start our discussion with understanding what is the kind of inflation in marks these days, right? So earlier, when I look back in the year 2010, there were almost like 17,000 students who were getting above 90%. right? But when I was doing a statistical research, I have seen that in 2019, the people or the students who were getting more than 90%, they have increased to 94,000. Then again, I thought that I should do a research for the year 2020, last year, because now this year exams have been cancelled. So then I was really amazed and I was really shocked to see that, okay, there are like more than 1 lakh students, more than 1,50,000 students who got 90% and above scores, right? Then the second thing I have done that, okay, let me do a research between 2019 to 2020. Like how many students are able to get 95% and above. So then I did a research and then again I was amazed to see the kind of competition we have these days, right? So there are like students who are getting more than 90% and more than 95%. And there are lakhs of students who are applying to universities. So do you think it is an easy task for the universities also to take you in their university? I know all of you dream of getting universities, but then for the universities also the number of seats, it remains the same, right? So it becomes very difficult for them to take a child. So if both the children are having 90%, then how will a university decide, okay, I have to take Neha or I need to take Shweta, right? So this is the kind of statistical research which I have done from my end. I want all of you to do a research as well to understand the kind of competition we have these days. Okay, so let's now talk about the admission ratios in like top universities. So what I truly tell my parents and my students is we should definitely make sure that our child is ready for the top colleges, right? So everyone dream of top colleges. So if you're getting in top colleges, getting into a little mediocre and the safe college options, it's definitely a cakewalk for you. Yes, Aryan, you're telling me that IIT. So I'm just here to give you an admission ratio, like how difficult it is for an IIT also to take a child, right? So looking at the admission ratios in the Indian colleges, IIT, they take less than 2% of students, which means if there are lakhs of people who are applying, they take 1 in 70 students only. Okay, so when I talk about IIM Indore, they have a 5-year integrated program. That's like a wonderful program. So to get into IIM, they only have 150 seats. So how do I get into IIM? There's so much of a competition, right? Then if I look for IISCs, which are great in like BSc, MSc courses, we have AIMS for medicine. Then when I look at the foreign university trends, it's equally competitive. Everyone wants to go into Harvard, want to go to MIT, UCLA. You can see the pass percentage, right? So if, for example, you are not getting that 90%, right? So how will you ace the admission if you don't have 90%? So that is the reason universities have changed the admission process. That is what we are going to discuss, so that each one of you who are attending this webinar, I am hoping that you should try your level best to get into your dream university. And as a counselor, I truly believe if I am able to help a child to get into a dream university, I'll be the most happiest person on the planet, right? So now let's discuss about, so we've discussed on the inflation, we've discussed on, okay, 90%, 95%, all right, and then this is what the admission ratios of the universities. Now let's look at the national education policy, right? So I'm sure all of you might have heard this last year, that national policy they have implemented, and definitely it truly we are expecting by the year 2022 April. Okay, so what was the need of starting this national education policy by the government, right? So we need to think about a few factors why they have thought about this kind of a thing. First, not every child is a 90 or a 95% student, right? Second, universities would want to see a 360-degree assessment of a child, right? So if you are telling that I am interested in pursuing engineering, you don't pursue engineering in 11th and 12th. You only study the subjects which are PCM, right? So when you tell a university, I want to do computer engineering, they won't be able to understand if you have not done any focus build or skill building things which help them to understand. So the whole idea of the national policy being implemented was we have to shift from marks competition. We need to move towards the personal competency. I would just like to give an example of IIT, since many of you are telling me about IIT. Okay, so IIT Delhi, they have started a humanities department to set up a public policy department recently. IIT Kharagpur, they have started a school of medical science and technology. Okay, so when it was asked by to the director of IIT Delhi that why you have done these kind of changes, like IIT is good for engineering, then why do we need a humanities department, right? So the best example with which the director Ram Gopal, what he gave was some of the best universities in the US, such as MIT, they have a very strong humanities department. Right, so though being a good engineering department, they are also strong in humanities, which means a child gets an opportunity of major and a minor. Okay, now let me give you one more example. So let's take a case of a civil engineer. Okay, so civil engineer knowing how to build a dam is not going to solve a problem, right? He needs to know the environmental and social impact of building the dam. So many engineers, you might have seen, they are becoming entrepreneurs. So should they not know something about economics? So a lot of factors go into anything which is related to engineering today, right? So this is the reason why it is very important that we focus more on self-discovery, skill building and experiential learning. And that is the reason the policy has been, it is to be implemented, but we got to know about this in the year 2020. So let's look at COVID. Has been a very bad phase, and it is still, but then for the admissions also, they have changed few admission processes. Okay. So like University of California, they have University of Berkeley, LA, they have like University of San Diego, Davis. They used to take admission based on 5 factors. Like universities abroad primarily look into 5 factors for admission. Okay. The number one, SAT or ACT. Then academics play a very, very important role. Okay, topics like are you genuinely interested in a career which you're talking about or not? Then they ask for your letter of recommendation from your teachers, and lastly they look for an extracurricular profile. So these 5 things are very important for any application, and especially when I talk about US. Now, this year, US, they have UC have agreed not to consider SAT or ACT scores as part of their admission. So out of 5 factors, 1 factor is removed. So we need to be ready with the next 4 factors. Okay. Next, going ahead, Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, they have also made test optional because many of the students were not able to take the SAT because of the cancellation of SAT exams. Almost every month we are hearing that. Okay. So let's look into the Indian colleges. Okay, now abroad they have told that okay, we will keep SAT optional. Now I'm hoping that most of you know about DU. Right, so DU is again a dream university for the ones who are looking for Indian colleges, right? DU has also started thinking that okay, since the board exams are being cancelled, like Bihar and Karnataka, they have already completed their exams, and in Maharashtra and MP it is told that the CBSE exams are not going to be held, and in Andhra Pradesh it's still in the talks. So what DU is thinking is probably we will move our focus only from taking the academic course, because definitely now exams are not being held. So let's look into some other things like entrance exam and a personal interview round. Okay, so we are still in talks, like now NEET is also being postponed, JEE is also being postponed, right? So these are some of the things which have reset in the admission process. So in the end, definitely I'm going to have a question and answer round, guys. So please keep a hold on your questions. I know almost all of you have a lot of questions. Let's first understand what all things are changing, and then let's understand that what best we can do to come out of a solution. Okay, so Tisha, the 5 things which I told which are required for abroad education is academics. It's both for India and abroad. The entrance exam, it's again for both India and abroad. The essays, the extracurricular profile, and a letter of recommendation. Okay, so since I'm hoping all of you understood that in US, abroad countries are changing the admission process, so is the change in Indian colleges. Now let's do another poll. I feel that I would like to first understand that if you were the admission officer, okay, so please choose one criteria which you would use to give students admission. Okay, so I want all of you to become the admission officer, take that privilege of becoming an admission officer today. Okay, so you can see a poll which is running on the right hand side of your screen, right? So what you feel now, 12th exams are being cancelled, guys. So how are the universities going to test you? So is it the objective exam paper which they should take to give you admission, or is it like just the application you have to fill and give, or it is the interview round? So tell me what you feel. Okay, so I can see a lot of you are asking for an interview round. I can hardly see 12th class exams. Wow, that's great. Okay, so parents and counselors, what do you feel about it? Is entrance exam mandatory, or do we need to have interview? Okay, yes, I'm still waiting for the final answer. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm just publishing the poll. All of you can see what you have written. So what you all feel as an admission officer is 6% weightage is given to 12th board exams. We have 31% of students who are looking for objective type entrance exam. Wow, that's really cool. Then we have application, 12%. But what are you going to write in your application is something you need to really think about. Then 49% are telling that we would like to give an interview. Amazing. Very good. Great. Okay. So let's look into the admission process these days. Okay. Definitely you have told about the board exams, entrance course. This is something, this is a new normal, I will tell you. Earlier it was just board exams, but now along with entrance, there is an application and interview which is mandatory to almost all of the universities. So having a combination of objective, interview, the 5 factors which I told all of you are truly important in the admission process almost everywhere, right? So since let's look at the elimination versus the selection process. Okay. So earlier, as you can see, 100% was the academics, but now they have given preference to 70% to the entrance course and 30% to the academics. And now the other game changer is a profile. So we will be discussing more in depth about that, the kind of profile you need to have, so that we are acing the admission almost for everything. Basically, we are ready for any changes, be it pandemic or not, we are ready for everything. Yes. So here is the revised criteria, guys. So this will help you to understand what is the revised criteria, which universities are looking for it. Okay. Now, personal interview, all of you have voted. Yes, they are taking personal interview. Yes, they are taking aptitude test. Now, universities have their own aptitude test also, like liberal art colleges in India, Ashoka, Flames, all of them, they have their own entrance exam. If you look for Christ, which is in Bangalore, again, they have their entrance exam. They will ask you for an on-the-spot essay. So, are you ready for writing on-the-spot essay? Which will ask you questions like recount an incident which has shattered your life completely, right? They will ask you recommendations. So recommendations should be from your teachers. Now, many of the students ask me that, ma'am, can I write a recommendation on behalf of my teacher? No, you cannot do that. Recommendation is something when you're applying to the university, you need to give your teacher's name, email ID, and phone number. A request goes from from your application to the teacher. She then uploads your recommendation. Again, it has nothing to do with you being a good boy or a bad boy. It is more to relate with the kind of personality traits you have and what you have done so far in your life, so that the universities are directly asking the teachers to understand about you more in depth. Universities are looking for statement of purpose. Statement of purpose is nothing but a 4,000 words character where you will be writing to the university in terms of why they should give you admission. Right? So you need to basically be ready with personal interview round, aptitude test, group discussion, co-curricular achievements, case study presentation, okay, extracurricular achievements, statement of purpose, leadership roles in the school. Now, definitely many students tell me, ma'am, we cannot be a head boy I can say a head girl of the school, right? So that's okay, but then you need to show your leadership quality to the university also to take you, right? Then they will ask you on the spot essay and then finally a recommendation. Okay, so this is the revised criteria. So coming back to the curious case of Sarthak Agarwal. So I would like to know how many of you know Sarthak Agarwal? Yes, please tell me how many of you know Sarthak Agarwal? He's a very famous personality in the education hub. Okay. No one knows Sarthak Agarwal. I'm really surprised by that. Okay. Okay. So Sarthak Agarwal, he was a student in 2014. He got 99.6%. Okay. And he was only looking for dream universities. Okay, so I'll just tell you his story. Okay, so he was looking for, he got 99.6%. He was looking for top DU colleges. He was a science student having PCM, and he wanted to choose economics as a career option. So he applied to colleges in DU. St. Stephen's was his dream university. He couldn't get into Dream University even though scoring a 99.6%. He got an SRCC. So can anyone tell me why he did not get in St. Stephen's? Anyone knows why he did not get in St. Stephen's even though having an exam score of like 9.6%? Yes. Please write your question. Okay, yes, Arushi, you are on the point. Yes, he was not having basically a profile and he couldn't ace the personal interview round, which St. Stephen's was having. Okay, so St. Stephen's, though he has cleared the exam score cutoff, but then he couldn't get into the university because he couldn't clear the personal interview round, where university was very eager to understand, okay, you have taken PCM, but how do we trust that you want to do economics? We don't see your subjects in 11th and 12th as well. You haven't selected economics, so how do we trust? And another thing, he should have done certain activities in economics, finance, so that universities trust him. And he was not a very good, I can say, a public speaker. He couldn't talk much, but he was like a person who was good in studies only. So the reason of me giving this curious case of Sarthak Agarwal is that I want all of you to do a research on him and understand that, yeah, being a 99% also, it is not, there's no 100% guarantee that you will get an admission. Okay. So let's run our poll number 3. I am trying to make this webinar more and more interactive so that I know more about my audience, and then definitely we will be connecting and discussing more about the individual queries also. Okay. So let's see our poll number 3. Okay, which is, what would be your top country preference to pursue your undergrad studies, which means your after class 12. So please share your responses. You can see the poll on the right hand side. Is it India? Is it US? Is it UK? Is it Canada? Or it's Australia, New Zealand, or any other factor? So what you feel like, what is your dream that, okay, I have to do this after my grade 12? Great. I can see USA as 23%. UK 9%, Canada 10%, Australia 4%, India 48%. That's good. You can do your bachelor's in India and master's abroad, or you can do your bachelor's abroad and do master's. It can be vice versa. Great. That's amazing. I can see amazing results. Okay, it's USA and India. Very good, Sana. Thank you so much for sharing these details. So now let's come to the topic, what is the X factor? Now we have understood that, okay, this is the admission process. 90%, 95%, so many students are getting. Even getting 99%, Sarthak couldn't get admission into his dream university. Right? So what is the X factor? I'll tell you, that is the right profile, which is in your hand, which you can actually work on it right now, right away. Right? If you are in 8th grade, 9th grade, this is the best time for you to start. But definitely doing the correct set of activities will definitely help you to ace the admissions. So I hope all of you can see an outstanding profile. She's my student, Freya Shah. She's from Jamnabai School. She has taken IB curriculum, basically. So the kind of activities which you can see, it's academic honors, under summer enrichment, career focused. I mean, she has almost everything which is required to get admission. And trust me, I'll tell you, she is an average student. She's not that great in study. She's a student who used to get like a 60% or a 70% max. Okay. So she has done these all things which helps any university to understand that, okay, why we should take Freya instead of any other student. Because number one, she has demonstrated her skill, her profile in a sense wherein university will understand looking at her extracurricular, co-curricular and the super-curricular activities. So super-curricular is something like for example, Sarthak Agarwal, if he would have done some activities or courses are of high repute in economics, definitely he would have got admission in St. Stephen's. Right? So same way, Freya Shah, right? So she got admission in amazing universities in US, as well as she has kept her option open for India. Narsi Monji was her dream university. So she got offers in almost all of them. It's just because of an outstanding profile and the way you speak in front of the universities, right? So let's look into how can we build up a profile, right? So if I go to any school, like for example, if I take Podar International as a school, okay? So if I look at Podar International, almost all the students of the class will be participating in the similar kind of activities. You have MUNs in your school, right? You have online like Olympiads in your school. But then as a university officer, I am getting application of Podar students. So I can see, okay, all of them have done similar kind of activities. I cannot differentiate if a child is good in economics or a child wants to take computers. So just because of the academics, I just cannot predict whether I should be taking them or not. Right? So yes, so for all of you asking for the 5 factors, I will repeat once again. Universities look at your academics. Second is the entrance. Third, they look for your extracurricular profile of 10 activities. Okay. Fourth, they look for a statement of purpose or essays. Fifth is a recommendation from your teachers, which you cannot see what they are writing. Okay. So now let's look into how can we build our profile. Yes, Tamanna, it's a wonderful question, Tamanna, that how do we build that? Now, this is high time that we actually know how we need to build our academics. Okay. So summer enrichment programs. Let us look into summer enrichment programs. So due to COVID, many of the parents and students think that there are no activities which we can do. We are only doing online classes, right? But there are activities, like there is an Oxford Royal Summer Program which is happening. So almost I can say it has started from May and now we are in June. So already we are 1 month late for applying, and they have application deadline till August. There is Ashoka University, there is Flames University who are conducting summer program. But we need to understand which summer program is in sync with what we want to do in our life, okay, what we want to do as a career, all right? And we need to choose certain stream-based achievements. Like, for example, if we want to take a career ahead in business and finance, then we need to focus more on these two aspects. We need to have a work experience, volunteering activities. Now, I know most of you cannot go outside, then look for activities which are online. There are so many companies who are giving work experience of students of your age. You can volunteer for the activities online. You can write your own blogs. You can actually create a project. You can create an event by your own, right? You need to learn different special skills. I have students who are learning French. I have students who are learning Spanish. It's out of the curiosity what they are doing, right? Understand your unique hobbies and interests. So when I talk about 10 activities which you are going to present to the universities, be it India or abroad, then you need to categorize your activities in such way that universities understand that why you want to take it as a career option. Okay. Now, you need to prioritize your activities based on the skills which you have. So skills is something universities are looking for. So for example, if I have to take a student of class 12th who is studying in Oak Ridge International, okay, so I would like to understand first that what kind of skills do you possess? Do you have leadership quality? Do you have communication skills? Do you have logical thinking? So universities prioritize on skills and not on certificates. Please be very clear on this, students and parents. I keep getting questions from students and parents in terms of how many certificates do I need to have? Having 100 certificates will also not help you. Okay, you only need to have best 10 activities showing and demonstrating how many weeks you have spent, how much time you have spent on that activity, and what you have learned from your activity. So just doing an activity next to your home, a small summer program, help you. The credibility of the activity also matters the most. Okay, so when is the right time to start the profile building process? 8th class is definitely because you have a lot of time in your grade 8, right? 9th class is a high time because when I talk about universities, they start looking at your activities and profile starting from 8th and 9th grade. Okay, 10th class, you will have little less time, but definitely it is highly important. 11th, definitely, and in 12th, you have less time. So that is the reason we say the early you start, it's best for you. The early you decide or early you think that, yes, I want to do this, or it's okay if you have not decided on a career also, that's okay, but you need to do certain activities which help you to decide and introspect yourself as well. Okay, so universities really want you to have a very good profile, and it's no more a optional thing. So please note, it's not an optional. If you don't have it, then like Sarthak Agarwal, all of us will have to suffer, right? So please make sure that all of you start working on that. All right, so let's run another poll. What is your top course of choice? Like, what you want to do after your grade 12th? Yes, I'm just running a small poll. So you can see on the right hand side, you can find courses like engineering, medicine, commerce, business, science, arts. It can be others as well, right? So please share your responses, like what you feel in the poll, please. Great, I can see a lot of engineers attending the webinar today. Yes. Wow, Kshitij, very good. CS, company secretary. So in the meantime, I will suggest everyone to start sharing your form as well. You can see a form in the chat box, and also on the sticky notes on the top. Yes, mass communication. Wow, that's excellent. Corporate law. Wow. Madhulika, NASA. Amazing. Great. So I can say that I'll publish the scores definitely. So the majority of the students, I can say, want to become an engineer. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes. So moving ahead, which streams need the profile most? So if you ask me, I feel everyone needs a profile these days. Even if you want to become an engineer, for writing an engineering exam in India called JEE, you definitely don't get a full day to think and write. It's just 2 or 2.5 hours where you need to use your logical skills. You need to use different skills which are helping you to ace the exams, right? Next, which streams need the most? It's business, design, liberal art colleges, psychology, architecture, media and journalism, almost everyone. Yes. So students, for the ones who are asking me for UPSC, please note, for UPSC, you need to be 21 years of your age. So before that, you either choose a combination of BA Pol Science, BA History, or Law as a career option. Okay. So moving ahead, what are the top government colleges in India which look beyond the grades? Okay, so it's like NIFT, Top Design University. We have IIM Indore. We have IIM Rohtak, NID, St. Stephen's, as I already told you, Shahid Sukhdev. So these are some of the top universities which students want to go in India, and they are now looking for things beyond your grades. So what are the private colleges? Like I told you about the liberal art colleges, these are few, like Ashoka, Manipal, OP Jindal. So these all universities look for beyond grades. So many students are also asking me, ma'am, for psychology, what would be the best college for? So all the best colleges you will be explored on our Univariety portal. Okay, but my whole idea of for you all to understand is, let's focus on the top 5 colleges. Okay, and then if you prepare for 5 colleges in a way, then getting into a medium and a low-end college will be very easy and a cakewalk for you. Then the decision is in your court which one you have to take, right? So let's see how Univariety can help. Does anyone know how Univariety helps students for building their profile? Great. So let me give you some statistics how we've been helping. Okay, so in the last 5 years, Univariety services, we have successfully admitted students, almost like more than 4,000 students into 129 universities abroad. 50% of our students, they got scholarship from top colleges. 75% scholarship for 1 out of 8 students, I can tell you. So as a counseling, we have been counseling more than lakhs of students 5 years, and almost all our students are placed in good universities, and I feel so prestige when students and parents come and tell me that, ma'am, thank you for your guidance. It's like it has really changed our life. So that is the kind of a connect which we have with our parents and our students. Now let's look at the abroad universities as well, where we have placed. So we have placed in almost, I can tell you, top-end universities like Ivy Leagues, UPenn, Princeton in Canada, Toronto, Symbiosis in Pune, LSE in UK, MIT, yes. So we have placed almost, you name it, you have it. It's just like that. We have placed students almost everywhere, okay? So now what we do, how can we help you in building a profile, okay? So we have a very amazing program. Like I love that, and I usually vouch for that program every time. I keep telling parents and students that definitely if you want to set a goal, you want to have a profile, it is a must for you, okay? So how are we going to do that? So we have a 50-day of a program with us, which is called a ProMap Profile Building Program. So what we do in that program is, number one step is we take 2 psychometric tests to help you and for us to help you what kind of a career you should be selecting. So psychometric test is definitely very, very important for every child, being grade 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th. It is very important for you to understand what is your aptitude, okay? So aptitude is something, it's your inherent quality to do something, okay? So since I'll tell you, I'm 7 years, so if I also go and take a psychometric test, the results will come the same as counselor, right? So it is very important we understand our child's aptitude well in advance. Only then we will be able to understand that, okay, what is our potential. Now interest might vary. You might have an aptitude of becoming an engineer, but what happens is when probably you might say that no, I don't want to do engineer, or probably you have that kind of a phobia seeing your senior brother or sister that, okay, no, we don't want to become an engineer, but you have that in you. So first, let's try and understand that what is your psychometric, or what is your logical thinking, or what is the kind of a thinking which you have, or what kind of an aptitude you have, right? So that is the number one step which we do. That is giving you 2 psychometric tests. So the right age to take the test is starting from grade 8 onwards, okay? The second step, what we do is, first we give you 2 psychometric tests of 45 minutes each in our 50-day program, okay? So the first step, psychometric over. The second step is we give you 3 virtual career tours on different career options. We have a set of 18 career options which you can explore. Like you can explore careers like mechanical engineering, computer engineering, psychology, filmmaking. So it's basically an option given to you so that you explore those options by yourself first, okay? So once you complete these 5 things, that is psychometric test and the virtual career tours on 3 career options, that is the time when we set your goal. We finalize, okay, this is the career which you should be looking. We guide you on kind of a country you should be choosing. Now, most of you are thinking of going abroad, but it is very important that we understand that, okay, if we are looking for abroad, US will cost me around 35 to 40 lakhs per year. So these kind of discussions need to be done with your parents as well, right? So it is extremely important that we set a goal for ourselves and then doing activities later which is in sync with our goal, okay? So that is the reason we give you first 5 steps in the 50-day program to understand your psychometric and to give you activities like virtual internships where you get your certificates and your reports as well. Okay. And then we have your counseling session, which is like a 1 hour of a counseling session with the profile building expert over the Zoom. So once your first counseling session is over, we will get an amazing on what should be your career, what should be your country option. Your parents will also get a clarity. Okay. And then we give you certain research tools to look into different colleges and have an aspiration plan for yourself. Okay. So as all of you can see, activity 1 is decoding you. Activity 2 is learning about the global trends, which we do it in our 50-day program. Now, we have decided, set our goal. Now, the next step is we would like to first understand what is your current score. Current score is nothing but understanding what all activities you have done so far. Now, many students might have done MUNs, many students might have done public speaking course. I have few students who have done TED Talks as well, right? So, first we would like to understand what all activities you have done, starting from your grade 9. So basically, it's our duty to make your score from a 23. Okay, Vibha, like you're telling, am I too late? Now it's the time, let's start for it. Okay, so 23 is probably your score out of 100. So it's our duty how we make it 100%. Okay, so what we do is once we take your activities, we set a goal in the first counseling session. We look into your current score. Okay, these are the kind of activities which you have done so far. Okay, then what we do is we have our database of like more than 6 to 7 lakhs courses, which are from like Harvard. We have courses from Oxford Royal. There are a set of free and paid courses. So students, if you don't know the right kind of an activity, it is highly suggested that you only do activities which are in sync with your career and which will help you in getting a good admission offer, which will help you in understanding and introspecting yourself as well, right? So what we do is after seeing your activities, we suggest you what are the kind of activities which you should be doing from now till your grade 12 to have an amazing strong profile. And please note that most students can have the same profile, right? Like these days every day has a similar percentage, but profile cannot be the same. Your skills, or probably you are a good artist, you draw at home, right? But then you do not know that whether you should take it as a career ahead or not, right? So there are also universities who have like a major and a minor option when you go abroad, and even Indian colleges have started that major and a minor option, right? So it's very, very important that we know the correct set of activities. As all of you remember the 5 factors which I told you, academics are also important, and extracurricular profile is also important. So we just cannot be doing any random activity just to add in our profile or just to show to the university. So if I give an example of an IB curriculum, in IB curriculum, all the students are given a same CAS, like given a CAS project, right? But that is a part of your IB curriculum. You are not doing something which is out of your curriculum. So the 10 activities which I am talking about, it has to be out of your curriculum. It need not be what you are already studying, which other students might also be studying. Correct? So basically we make a planner out of 6 to 7 lakh activity. Of course, you need not do all of them, right? You only need to identify what are the best 15-20 activities, and we will identify with you that. And then we have a second counseling session. Example of free, paid, there are so many courses online, but then if you don't know the right set of course, doing as many will not help you. Universities are not looking into the quantity of certificates or activities. Do the best 10 and make sure those are like worthwhile. I would also like to give one example of my student. Okay, this is like my favorite example I have given to almost all students so that they understand it really well. Okay. So one of my student, he was from Oak Ridge International at Gachibowli. So he was a topper, I can say that. He was a topper. He was an IB student. In his grade 12th, he got 42 out of 45. He from ninth grade onwards, he used to tell me, "Ma'am, I'm really interested in pursuing a career in computers." So I said, "Okay, let's get your aptitude test done." We did his aptitude, and it was actually in sync with what he wanted to do. What we did is we told him that, okay, let's work on your profile now since you are in ninth grade. So he started learning languages, like computing languages. So he learned C, C++, Java, HTML, almost all the computing languages. He also went for a summer program at UPenn. He also applied to Columbia summer program. So what he did was, after learning, you also need to implement that activity, right? So what he did was, he made an application for the school where students were able to see what is there for the lunch for the next day. This is something doing creative, right? Not only just I was a volunteer, I was standing in a like a MUN. That wouldn't help you. You need to have a role, right? And there are few students who do some activity just before their 12th admission to show to the university. That also universities are really well, right? So we need to make sure that we have a consistency in our activities, and it is helping the university to understand that we have a creative mind, and if they take us, how they are going to help, or how we are going to make a difference in the university. There are a lot of students who are a national level player, right, in sports. There are students who are good in football. They are good in, I can say, chess. So many parents ask me, Muskan, will this activity be counted? 100% it will be counted if you are a good sports person also, but you need to understand how you are presenting that in front of the university. Okay, so these are the personalized activities wherein which we discuss during the second counseling session. We help you and we make a planner for you in the second counseling session in our 50-day program. Start doing those activities. So this is how we help you. That is the activity number 5. Completing the chosen activities. So once you complete your activities, I have students of 9th grade also who tell me, ma'am, we are just starting on doing the activities. So probably when I come to you in grade 11th, please help me with a good CV, right? So only once you complete your activities, we will 100% help you, and we will give you a CV which you can directly upload in your application. So this is how you improve the score, and this is how you improve your CV. So basically, in this 50-day, what you get is you get to set your goal on the course, on the country. You get to know your dream university. You get to know what kind of an activities I should be doing, and along with that, we have 2 free courses which are added on public speaking by a very renowned company in Mumbai. That's for 6 days, and we have a money making course. Okay, so for individual student, we need to make an individual profile. So as I told, we cannot have the same profile for everyone. So in the meantime, I have pasted a link on the chat box. So would suggest all of you to keep filling that form as well. So this is the example. I'll tell you, this is the last example, and then we will move on to the question and answer round. And I would love to answer all your questions. Okay. So she is a student from Satpal Middle School in Ludhiana. Okay. So what she did was, she came to us when she was in grade 10th. She told me that, ma'am, I'm very much interested to pursue medicine, but she was looking for countries like US and Canada, which doesn't offer medicine after the class 12th. So for medicine, she has to do a pre-medicine course, which talks more about her interest in biology, physics, chemistry, and these kind of subjects. So we understood that, and we helped her to build a profile. Now you can see what all activities Shreya has done, right? So she has created her own blog. She has completed online courses on human disease, molecular and cellular biology. She's currently pursuing a course, advanced level course from MIT on molecular biology. She got admitted in Yale Young Scholar Summer Program last year. She's also running an NGO. She's like volunteering at an NGO called Ehsas. She is an artist, so definitely in your activities you need to add things which are related to your hobbies as well, and which you probably would wish to go ahead with as well, right? So she started a keyboard channel on YouTube, so all of you can actually look into her blog, and the details you will definitely find on YouTube. So let's run the last poll for today. That's our poll number 5. So I would like to understand, what do you believe is your child's core strength or an area of strength according to you, parents? I would like to understand. So please, I have run the poll at the right hand side. I would suggest all of you to please post your answers. Is it the board exams which you think is a core strength? Is it the test score, or do you think it's a profile or a CV? Okay, great. I can see have understood the concept which I was trying to explain today, which is very important and it's no more an optional thing. Great. Thank you so much. So I can understand that almost all of you understand that why building a profile is so important, right? So now we will move on to our question and answer round. I know that most of you are waiting for this and would love to ask questions. So in the meantime, I would suggest all of you to kindly post your questions and fill the form as well, so that after this webinar, we will also have a chance of connecting with you all very soon. And for the ones who are asking for the profile building program, so this program, our next batch starts on 16th June. Okay, so April, May, all the batches have been almost filled and completed. And for the June 1st batch is also completed. So the next batch is on June 16th. And for that, the deadline for you to register is 10th of June. So any of you who are interested, so kindly fill the form so that my team can reach out to you at the earliest. So you can see the form which we are filling it. Yes, here is the form. I have pasted it once again. Yes, so let's have a quick question and answer round. I would like to understand what are your queries. Yes, so Vikas, you have written that I wrote a book. Will it help me in my profile building? Yes, Vikas, it will definitely help you if you have written a book, but then you have to make sure that the book is, published, and everything you have done in a proper way and which you can add in your application. So we would like to see what book you have written and what all contents you have written in that to give you a proper understanding. Okay, so Harneet, for your question, how will I build my profile if I am a science student? Okay, so irrespective of you being from science, when I talk about science, it is PCM or PCB. Though you're a commerce student or a humanities student, you have a chance of building a profile. Like just I gave you an example of a student who has done like languages like C, C++, Java. Yes, so Rishita, to enroll for the summer enrichment programs, it's part of our profile building program where we guide you in terms of what all activities. So I would highly suggest that you please fill the form so that our team can reach out to you. Yes, Gurnoor, you are learning guitar and French. That's very good, Gurnoor. You should continue doing that till your grade 12, okay? And that we can add it as an extracurricular, basically. Okay, so yes, so I got a question asking for what about game development? Yes, so you can start learning coding. You can develop your own game. I have seen students of like 13, 14 years, they are making their own games basically. You should definitely do something of that sort. And apart from doing your activities which are in sync with your career, I would highly suggest doing activities on your personality and profile building, like speaking skills also. Because I have seen students who are very good, like Sarthak Agarwal. I know I'm taking his example too much today. He might be getting a lot of hiccups today, but then see, like Sarthak, he was good in academics, but then he couldn't speak. He was not a good speaker. So work on your skills, students, not just on getting certificates. I cannot reiterate more on that. Please work on your skills. Number one, decide on what you want to do in your life. Decide on the career. Lot of parents and students tell me, ma'am, we are still in 8th and 9th. Why do we have to decide a career? Right? So it's not just to decide a career, but then if you do certain activity, you will understand that yes, this is something I would like doing in my life. It's like basically if you're going for a lunch and in the buffet you get so many dishes to eat. If you don't eat one of them, you will not understand the taste of it. Right? So it is very, very that you start exploring things starting from 8th grade onwards. Yes, so thank you. I'm getting so many queries. I can see a lot of my old students have also joined in. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Yes, so many of you are asking about psychology as a career option, and I can see most of you are girls. I see that most of the girls are influenced by, being a psychologist, right? So, yes, psychology is a wonderful career, but then before choosing a career, we need to understand that whether we will be able to take it throughout our life or not. I see most of the girls telling I want to become a psychologist, but when someone shares their problem or are in depression, they themselves start crying. So we need to have a strong mindset, strong aptitude to take that career in their life. Yes. Please share your queries one after the other. Yes, so basically you have to do ample of online, offline, all the courses, but you need to have a planner what you should be doing. Okay, so a lot of you are telling I am a badminton player. Very good, very good. See, continue your sports. You don't have to leave your sport. Continue doing that. I know because of the current situation, you're not able to do that. But still, whenever you get time, go to any clubs and play sport. Okay, yes. Yeah, so we are making a note of all your queries. I'm just trying to reply to most of them, but don't worry, all your queries will be answered. Okay, so how to register for the profile building or the public speaking course? We will send you the details. Once you fill the form, we will send you the details on how to register. But please note everyone, for the 16th batch, we are going to take students only till 10th. So we are not going to exceed that deadline. So the maximum students interested, please fill the form. That is the only way where we can understand your interest and help you in building your profile. So the form is actually there on the top. I'm sticking it once again. Yes, so I have sent the form once again. I would suggest you all to please fill it so that we can understand. Yeah, so basically, I'll tell you the summer programs, it starts starting from 13 years of your age. It's not just that you have to be a 16 years or an 18-year older. We have students who have started summer programs from 13 years of age. They are doing online courses. They are doing so many of these things which are helping them to get into the good university. Yes, so having your NCC will also help you definitely. But as I told, having good amount of 10 activities, what we are looking for, it should be a mixture of everything. It shouldn't be just one activity. So the best ideal time to start the research paper or working with a mentor, it starts starting from 8th grade. Yes, so along with law, yes, you can do certain courses in coding, definitely. But then it's highly suggested that first you decide what you want to do, right? Decide as a career what you wish to do. Yes, so any more questions? Yes, great to know, Sana, that you have attended ISDI summer program. Very good, very good. Yes, so for Archit, animal research, definitely you need to first decide in terms of whether you want to go for the wildlife zoologist or what kind of an option in the career, basically, to understand the animals better. Yeah. Yes, Sahil, you can go ahead for the NGO in your own city. That's perfectly fine. Yes. So thank you so much. I hope all of you have understood the concept of why universities are actually asking for these kind of things, like why universities have changed the admission process, because not all students are able to get a high score. So please remember the 5 factors, and I would highly suggest that all of you work in a very appropriate way to get into your dream university. And this is, I'll tell you, the right set of age where you start researching on your dream university. So thank you so much. I hope everyone liked this webinar. You understood the concept, and definitely we are going to help you in building your profile. So please fill out the form. Once again, I'm telling you, please fill out the form. It will really help us to understand what course you're looking for, what is your preference. Even if you're confused, we are here to help you and guide you in terms of career, what you should be selecting. Okay, so thank you so much for all your queries. Please fill out the form. We will definitely answer each of the query. All right. Yes. So thank you so much. It was lovely interacting with so many of you. Like I'm really glad that this was a very informative session for all of you and for the parents as well. So parents, it's our job, and it's basically, I'll tell you, we have to be more active, and we have to make a goal for our child, because at this age students are influenced by so many different career options. It can be an infatuation as well, right? But as a I can say counselor and as parents, it's our duty that we have to show them the right path at the right age, to keep their options open and to help them understand how the outside world is all about, right? So thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. I'm hoping to connect with most of you as soon as possible. Our team will be connecting with all of you to understand your preferences and to help each and every child in the best possible way. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. It was really a bliss having you all on this. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe. Thank you so much. Thank you.